It was a chilly Monday morning when a sharply dressed black man entered the lobby of a robust tech firm, holding nothing but a leather briefcase and quiet confidence. The receptionist didn't look twice, except to scowl. "Deliveries around back," she said without lifting her head. She didn't know the man she dismissed wasn't a delivery guy. He was the new owner. And within minutes, the entire company would come to a grinding, irreversible halt. Ezekiel Carter had built his empire from the ground up. Once homeless at 16, he taught himself coding at a public library and spent a decade creating an innovative AI platform that revolutionized logistics for Fortune 500 companies. Now in his 40s, he was known across the industry as the silent genius, never flashy, always calculated. Just last week, he quietly acquired a controlling interest in Tech, a firm that had once refused to license its software. It was poetic. Instead of announcing the takeover with press releases and photo ops, Ezekiel wanted to visit unannounced. He wanted to see the company's culture, unfiltered. Wait a second, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. Dressed in a tailored charcoal suit, Ezekiel walked into Tech's headquarters to meet the executive team. But the woman at the front desk didn't see a CEO. She saw a black man in her lobby and assumed the worst. "You need to wait outside," she said sharply. "This is a restricted area. I don't think deliveries go through here." Ezekiel looked at her, stunned, not angry. He'd seen this before, the lowered eyes, the tightened lips, the dismissive tone. He could have spoken up then, pulled out his phone, and shown the ownership documents. But he didn't. Instead, he walked outside and waited in his car. Then he made one phone call to the head of Tech's legal department. "Activate Clause 7, Ezekiel said calmly, "effective immediately. Lock access to all servers, revoke board credentials, and freeze the accounts. I'll be inside shortly." Back in the lobby, panic erupted minutes later when executives began pouring out of elevators with frantic phone calls and confused whispers. Systems went offline, emails bounced, and keycards stopped working. The company was on lockdown. The receptionist blinked, unsure what was happening. Then Ezekiel re-entered. The same woman who'd told him to leave now stood up pale and wide-eyed. "Sir, can I help you?" she said, her voice trembling. Ezekiel smiled. "Yes, I believe you were about to page the executive team for me." Confused murmurs followed him as he passed security, no longer needing permission. Everyone watched as the man they had ignored walked into the boardroom moments ago. Inside the boardroom, Ezekiel stood before the leadership team. He introduced himself not as a visitor, but as the new owner. Silence fell like a stone. Still unaware of the situation, one executive asked who approved the dramatic stunt. Ezekiel slid the signed acquisition papers across the table. "This isn't a stunt," he said. "It's your new reality." He turned toward the glass wall and looked at the workers scrambling below. "I didn't just buy your company. I bought your culture, your reputation, and your values, or lack thereof. And today, they've all been exposed." He held up a piece of paper, the receptionist's termination notice. "Effective immediately." News of the shutdown spread like wildfire on social media. Within hours, the company trended, not for innovation, but for humiliation. But Ezekiel didn't stop there. He issued a company-wide audit of every department's racial equity and bias practices. The HR team was restructured. Inclusion training became mandatory. Executives were required to shadow entry-level employees for 1 week every quarter. The DI receptionist? She never got a second chance, not because of revenge, but because some lessons come with consequences. When asked later in an interview why he handled things this way, Ezekiel simply said, "Because respect shouldn't require a name tag, a title, or a press release. It should be automatic." And just like that, one man's quiet power shifted an entire company's legacy. If you enjoyed this story and found it thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful narratives. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Take care.